So you all know by now, Donald Trump has been indicted in Georgia, the fourth
with a whole gang
indictment.
of other people.
But there are a lot of other people who got indicted too. And this is what we want to talk to you about today, because turns out there is a Kanye West connection.
Interesting, yes. Someone who was one of the people indicted, one of the 18 other people besides Donald Trump indicted, is a woman named Trevian Kuti. And she used to be Kanye West's publicist, was at the time, back in 2020, in his inner circle, and she ended up getting into politics
in a bad way.
According to prosecutors in Fulton County.
In a really bad way.
Really bad way.
And so, look, this woman, if you remember the election workers who testified before the January 6th committee, one of them was met at her door by Miss Kuti.
Right. The election worker, Ruby Freeman, got a knock on her door from Miss Kuti and a police officer who was escorting Miss Kuti to go have this conversation with Ruby Freeman.
Basically saying to her, you committed election fraud, and there is election fraud all around you, and we need to go to the police station to kind of sort all of this out.
Right. So what you're about to see is the police body cam of this conversation. And according to the prosecutors down in Fulton County, Miss Kuti was doing all of this at the behest of Donald Trump and the rest of their co-conspirators.
We would like to let you know first and foremost, we have put in placement a way to move you, to secure you from what may be organized in the next. I cannot say what specifically will take place. I just know that it will disrupt your freedom and the freedom of one or more family members. You are elusive for a party that needs to tidy up. I work with some of the biggest names in the industry. Crisis is my thing. One thing we don't want to do for you is create another crisis.
Look, I don't know about a smoking gun there. I don't know if there's a smoking gun, but I just know from my eyes and ears when I see that. If you're Ruby Freeman, how do you not feel threatened?
She did feel threatened.
Your freedom is going to be...
Ruby Freeman testified before Congress that it ruined her life, and her daughter testified as well, that she was getting threats. It upended everything in her life, and she was very strong when she testified before that committee.
This is the heart and soul of the prosecutor's case. So they're alleging an entire RICO action, which means you have 18 different people who are all in cahoots with one another trying to get the election in Georgia overturned. There are certain illegal acts that they have to prove, prosecutors do, and here you have one. This woman was clearly, Trevian, clearly lying, threatening, intimidating a person who was a recipient witness to what Donald Trump was calling fraud. And they tried to coerce this person into coming in and basically admitting that there was wrongdoing.
Admitting something that didn't happen. So
exactly.
Admitting something that didn't happen so they could upend the election.
Remember, this is being done in front of a police officer. So Trevian Kuti had no qualms about saying all of this, knowing that a police officer is standing right there.
And you know, I want to say something, because Charles and I were talking about this morning, that why would, because I remember you came and you said to me, why would she be so brazen?
Right.
And I think the answer to that is because that she and her alleged cohorts felt that they could actually pull this off. And if they pulled it off, there'd be no trouble for them.
Right.
Because they
felt...
if
the election was overturned, that it swung in favor of Trump, then he's in office, and then everybody gets a pass.
They have the power, and everybody gets a pass. And she did not bank on the fact that it wouldn't work, and she was this brazen because she simply thought it would. So she now faces a minimum 5 years in prison if convicted on the RICO charge.
What we don't know is how Trevian Kuti ended up working with Trump. Obviously, we know at that point in 2020, Kanye and Trump were still very close.
We don't know if there was any introduction or anything like that. Right.
Hi, I'm Randall Gonzalez from Houston, River Oaks, Texas, and I'm here to comment today's story. the crime boss, leading, you did the crime, you did the time. So I think she gets everything she deserves, because you can't go around harassing people like that and doing the bidding of other people like Trump's. That's corrupt. And I feel sorry for these people, man.
Well,
When you watched Ruby at that January 6th hearing, you just cried for her because you could just feel how this really affected her life, and really sad.
Absolutely, and that much is clear now as to whether or not Trevian Kutti or Donald Trump or Rudy Giuliani are responsible for that. As the DA said last night, they're all innocent until proven guilty.
We will see.